Let's take this and multiply it by itself and fix it. You get it because it's cute. The GameCube was released back in 2001 and was Nintendo's first disc console. Being that these are 20 years old now, not reading discs is a common problem, however this one isn't even spinning the disc. We'll start by opening it up, which is super easy on a GameCube because it just has four 4.5mm game bits in each corner that easily pop out. So I think I already know what's wrong with this GameCube because it's a super common issue. I noticed when I powered the system on that there was absolutely no disc spin, so I'm guessing this is a lid switch problem. There's a switch here at the back of the console that gets triggered whenever you open up the lid on the GameCube. Like all CD systems, if this switch is triggered, it's going to disable the disk drive so you don't get a laser beam to the eye. This switch is supposed to have two little black tabs that stick up from it, and they're completely gone. They're broken off. Funny enough, when you shake it, there's a little rattle in here, and I have a feeling, oh yeah, there we are, that's one of the black tabs, so it looks like we're doing a bypass. Now there's a few ways we can do this bypass. We can cut this wire and solder the two ends together, or we could do a little bit of soldering on the board and just connect these two outside pins together. I opted to solder directly onto the board. That way, if we decide to revisit this and properly fix it by replacing the switch, I don't have to do any wire work, I just have to pop out the old one, put in the new one. As I just alluded to, this isn't a completely proper fix. This repair will last for as long as the GameCube lives, but because we're bypassing the switch, the game will read and run if the door is open. Some people don't like that because it's not original, some people don't like that because it does pose a hazard. With that bypass wire soldered in, I plugged it back in to test. And we have disc spin victory! And as an added bonus, the laser's working fine. Now I'm not completely done. I checked the battery here and we're less than 3 volts, so we'll swap that out. And there's a whole bunch of dirt that's built up inside the fan and the heatsink here, so let's clean that. So the worst part about working on GameCubes is that they just have a ridiculous amount of screws for no reason. That's just to take the board out. I didn't film that because you're not missing anything. But anyhow, let's take a look at what this heatsink might look like. It's actually not bad. It's actually very clean. Perfect. So unplug the fan here because the fan could definitely use a clean. However, the heatsink, that's actually pretty good. Nice. When I clean plastics and metals, I just use 70% isopropyl alcohol, a cloth, and a toothbrush, and that seems to do the job pretty well. The time battery here is soldered directly into the front board. Now, unfortunately, I don't have any replacements, but I think I have an idea that's going to work and make this easier in the future for other people. I bought a bundle of 3-volt battery holders a while ago, and I don't think I've ever used one, so I figured now's the perfect time. Now, unfortunately, it was a little bit too big, and I couldn't fit the pins into the solder holes because the controller port was getting in the way. So it just took a little bit of modification. I just cut out a small corner here, and it was able to fit pretty well. Once the holder was in, it looked like it would no longer fit a battery, which had me kind of concerned. However, I tested it with a 3-volt battery that was laying around, and yeah, it's a perfect fit. This is going to work. This new battery holder will make it easier for the next guy when this battery dies, so rather than desoldering anything, they just have to pull out the old battery and put in a new one. Now with that reinstalled and the fan and the vents cleaned, we can reassemble the whole thing. I used alcohol and a cloth to remove some of the grime that has built up over the last 20 years or so. I used a little bit of polish here to shine up the emblem on top and then just shine up the system in general. And last but not least, I cleaned the laser with a little bit of alcohol. And there we have it, a nice clean working GameCube. Let's save the consoles. Now, this one is missing these doors, however the customer has them at home, so I don't need to replace them. I would have liked to try to replace this cover here because there's a few imperfections on it, however they didn't want that, they literally just want it to be functional again, so there it is. And just a friendly reminder, I have no formal training in any of this, so I encourage you to learn with me. However, don't imitate me without first doing your own research, just in case I made a mistake and didn't realize it. Now, if you like this kind of content and want to see more, hit subscribe, ring the bell so you're notified whenever I post a video. I'm on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, all that stuff. Links are in my bio. Take care.